grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter-pat? Why, that happy tune is your tune. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade, but now I'm not afraid. Trouble's over, I've crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade, but now I'm not afraid. Trouble's over, I've crossed over the rainbow. Never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny, sunny side of the street.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We want to welcome you here tonight to the 56th production of the Pleasant Lake Lions Club Minstrel Show. We want to thank the Trine University Jazz Band and Mark Kays for their pre-show entertainment. Let's give them a round of applause. We're going to start our program tonight just like we start each and every one of our Lions Club meetings. So those of you that wish to participate, would you please stand? We'll give the salute to the flag and thank our Heavenly Father for his many blessings. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for being with us tonight. We just pray that you help us all to have a good time. Thank you so much for this wonderful country that we live in and that we can do things like this. We can have public gatherings without special permits. Thank you so much for this. We pray this all in Jesus' name. Amen. The 1930s, the Great Depression, the CCC program, bread lines, bank failures. Lots of things were going on in the 30s. Some of the famous movies were The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind. Some of the famous people were Amelia Earhart, Shirley Temple, Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, Herbert Hoover, FDR, Stalin, Mussolini, Adolf Hitler, and who can forget our most favorite Indiana son, John Dillinger. There's even rumors that he's been around here before, too. Some of the great inventions of the 30s really impact us a lot, and I'm certainly glad the 30s came along because the very first invention that I read about was the chocolate chip cookie. All right? Sticky tape. All right? Electric razors. And who can forget the most important one of all, the zipper. Ladies and gentlemen, Pleasant Lake Lions Club proudly presents our program tonight, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? And the Trine University Band is going to get us in the mood.
Sister, what you call 'em, what you doing tonight? Hope you're in the mood because I'm feeling just right. How's about a corner with a table for two, where the music's mellow and some gay rendezvous? There's no chance romancing with the blue attitude. You've got to do some dancing to get in the mood. Sister, what you call 'em, that's a timely idea. Something swing-a-dilla would be good to my ear. Everybody must agree that dancing has charm. When you have a certain one you love in your arms, stepping out with you will be a sweet interlude. A builder-up that will put me in the mood. In the mood. That's it, I got it. In the mood. Your ear will spot it. In the mood. Oh, what a hot hit. Be alive and get the jive. You've got to learn how. Hep, hep, hep. Hep like a heifer. Pep, pep, pep. Hot as a pepper. Step, step, step. Step like a stepper. We're mugging and hugging. We're in the mood now. Mister, what you call 'em, all you needed was fun. You can see the wonders that this evening has done. Your feet were so heavy till they hardly could move. Now they're light as feathers and you're right in the groove. You were only hungry for some musical food. You're positively, absolutely in the mood. Sister, what you call 'em, I'm indebted to you. It all goes to show what good influence can do. Never felt so happy and so fully alive. Seems the jamming jumping is a powerful jive. Swingaroo has given me a new attitude. My heart is full of rhythm and I'm in the mood. In the mood, that's it, 'cause I got it and I'm in the mood. Your ear will spot it when you're in the mood. Be alive and get the jive, you got to learn how. Hip, 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 you're hip like a heifer full of pep, pep, pep. You're hot as a pepper and you step, 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 step like a stepper. We're hugging, and now we're hugging, 'cause we're in the mood.
Well, we hope you're in the mood now. Who knew that the Great Depression was so much fun? You know, it was actually 80 years ago today, October the 24th, 1929, when the stock market started to crash. And so people talk about these times being tough, you know, but it's nothing like the Great Depression when the unemployment rate was 25% and a lot higher in some places. The farm prices went down 60%. The stock market dropped 90%. Now think about that one today. If the stock market dropped 90%, that means the Dow would lose about 9,000 points today. What would that do to your 401k, huh? Things were tough. Things were tough. When people could see their life savings, their bank accounts going right down the sewer. Of course, Pleasant Lake doesn't have a sewer, but we have our own way of dealing with financial crises. Bring it out, boys. Nice, huh? Didn't cost $17,000 to hook it up either. But yes, life was tough in those days, but people were optimistic too, and that's kind of the theme of our song tonight, our show tonight. And if you haven't bought a paper yet, you got to do that at halftime. There's a lot of great stories in there about Pleasant Lake in the 1930s, and a lot of ads for businesses that actually existed in Pleasant Lake in the 1930s, like a few of them you see up here on the stage. One of those businesses was, I was always intrigued with this one. One of those businesses was Anstett Brothers Vaults and Tanks. Now think about that. We're talking about burial vaults and septic tanks. Now I'm assuming there's some kind of difference in the design between those two, but I don't know that for a fact. Anyway, whenever you said, I have to go, whichever you meant, Anstett Brothers had you covered. Literally. Now, those of you who've got those Ansett Brothers septic tanks that were installed back in the 1930s, you might want to think about, no, never mind.
I didn't think that's ever going to.
Now, I'm a 1933 model, so you can tell I come up when it was tough. Back then, gasoline was 19 cents a gallon. You could drive a Chevy pickup truck for $5.50. And you could get a gallon or a quart of milk for 10 cents. That's what we're going to talk a little bit about milking a cow here this evening. Anybody ever milk a cow by hand? Anybody here? I'm sure there's a few here. You younger people wouldn't understand what that is. But anyway, on a real cold morning, about 14 below zero, the family headed to the barn about 5:30 to milk. And the first thing you do, you get busy and you wash the mudders. Then you grab a stool and a bucket and you sit down and you start squeezing the levers. Cleaned that up, didn't I? Anyway, you squeeze the levers and you fill the bucket. Old bossy old swinger tail and hit you side to face with things you sometimes don't want to be hit with. She's been there in that stall all night. And the old tomcat goes by and you squirt milk at him and he never misses a drop. He catches every one of them. But anyway, I had a little brother was standing there and he was about 5 years old. And the old cow turned around and goes, moo. And he said, Ron, what'd she say? What'd she say? I said, thank you for a warm hand. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Bossy stepped in the bucket.
Guy walks into a bar. What do you mean I can't use it? All right. Let me try this one then. You know, jobs are kind of hard to come by these. What do you mean I can't use it? You don't even know what it is. Sit down. What they're talking about is that the director of our program, Elton Powers, works really, really hard to make sure this is a family program. And in the past, we may have ventured towards the locker room, never towards the gutter. So Elton, you might say, is solely responsible for tonight's material. Some of it I wanted to use, he wouldn't let me because, guys, he'd always say, "Can't use it." Thank you. So instead, I believe I'll just tell a story about my wife. You don't even know my wife. Sorry, Bridget. Love you. Well, Bridget was talking with a couple of her college roommates they hadn't seen in a while, and as so often friends do, they got to kind of bragging a little bit about how well their lives had turned out. And first friend says, well, do you see this big diamond ring? My husband bought that for me. Bridget says, well, that's nice. Next one says, well, did you see that big mansion out along the interstate? My husband bought that for me. Bridget says, well, isn't that nice? They said, well, Bridget, what did your husband get for you? She says, well, he got me etiquette lessons. Etiquette lessons? She says, well, yeah, I used to say this and that, and now I just say, that's nice.
That's nice. Well, John Brooks the other day was out playing some golf, and he was there visualizing his shot, you know, getting all set up for it. And out of the clubhouse loudspeaker system comes this voice that says, would the man on the woman's tee please back up to the men's tee? John just goes right on about his business. You know, he's sighting and visualizing this thing, and he's almost ready to go. And here comes that voice out of the clubhouse again. Would the gentleman on the ladies' tee please go back to the man's tee? And John doesn't pay any attention. He's setting up. One more time, this voice comes out, says, would the man On the ladies' tee, please back up to the men's tee. And John straightens up, turns around, looks at the clubhouse, and kind of stares in the window at the guy and says, "Would the person please allow the golfer to hit his second shot?"
Yes, it was the Depression. Times were tough, unemployment, bread lines, soup lines. Most of the Lions Club members, well, by the mid-30s, most of the Lions Club members were in their mid-30s. But all the news wasn't bad. There was one good event. On December the 5th, 1933, the 21st Amendment passed. Prohibition ended.
There's a garden, what a garden, only happy faces bloom there, and there's never any room there for a worry or a gloom there. Oh, there's music, and there's dancing, and a lot of sweet romancing. When they play the polka, they all get in the swing. Every time they hear them pop, everybody feels so calm. They want to throw their cares away. They all go la-di-ah-di-yay. When they hear the rumble on the floor, it's a big surprise they're waiting for. And all the couples form a ring, and all around you'll hear them sing. Roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel, we got the blues on the run. Sing, boom, Guerrero, sing out a song of the cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, for the game's all here. Every time they hear that pop, everybody feels so calm. They want to throw their cares away. They all go la-di-ah-di-yay. When they hear the rumble on the floor, it's a big surprise they're waiting for. And all the couples form a ring. We'll bounce around, you'll hear them sing. Roll out the barrel, we'll have a barrel of fun. Roll out the barrel, we got the blues on the run. Sing blues, Guerrero, sing out a song of good cheer. Now's the time to roll the barrel, for the gang's all here.
For this next song, you may want to get your hankies out. You're going to do a lot of, we'll tell you here in just a minute. On the guitar, Walter Silberg, and in the barrel, Fat Freddy from Redneck Ridge, singing, "My Nose is Running Money, Honey."
Well, this here, it's kind of a romantic song, so You men just grab a hold of your wife's hand and just remember this song, because someday you might want to sing it to her. It works over on the ridge. You say that I don't love you. You say my love's untrue. But if I was a rich man, I'd prove my love for you. I'd buy for you a diamond ring and a new fur coat or two. If my nose was running money, I'd blow it all on you. If my nose was running money, I'd blow it all on you. I'd buy for you a Cadillac and a new Mercedes too. Well, I'd build for you a mansion up on that mountain top if my nose was running money. But honey, it's not.
It's a booger of a problem that I've got. I wish my nose was running money, but it's not. I'd buy for you a diamond ring and a new fur coat or two. If my nose was running money, honey, I'd blow it all on you.
If my nose was running money, I'd make all your dreams come true. Well, I'd buy you that John Deere tractor and we'd get rid of that old gray mule. Well, I'd buy you some new bibbed overhauls and a pair of them Rodam shoes. You wouldn't have to plow barefooted the way you always do.
It's a booger of a problem that I've got. Wish my nose was running money, but it's not.
I'd buy for you a diamond ring and a new fur coat or two.
If my nose was running money, honey, I'd blow it all on you.
If my nose was running money, we'd have everything we need. Whenever we needed cash, all I'd have to do is sneeze. We'd all be living high on the hog, and that hog wouldn't look so lean. If my nose was running money, we'd be rolling in the green.
It's a booger of a problem that I've got. I wish my nose was running money, but it's not. I'd buy for you a diamond ring and a new fur coat or two. If my nose was running money, honey, I'd blow it all on you.
If my nose was running money, we'd eat out all the time. Fanciest restaurants in town, that's where we'd go to dine. Well, I'd blow my nose and I'd pay the check. And then right before we'd leave, I'd give that waitress a great big tip that I'd wiped on my sleeve.
It's a booger of a problem that I've got. I wish my nose was running money, but it's not. I'd buy for you a diamond ring and a new fur coat or two. If my nose was running money, honey, I'd blow it all on you.
And if my nose was running money, honey, I'd blow it all on you. And I would too.
Great irony in this song because people weren't in the money and there were red lines. And, you know, it's like today, if you really want to be in money, apparently you have to be a failed company and wait for a government bailout.
Yes, folks, the Depression was tough on everyone. There were a lot of men who went off to fight in World War I, and as they called it at that time, the Great War. When many of them returned, they returned to a life of prosperity for themselves and their families through the boom times of the 20s. But now they found themselves looking for soup kitchens and standing in bread lines, wondering where their next meal was coming from.
They used to tell me I was building a dream, and so I followed the mob. When there was earth to plow or guns to bear, I was always there, right on the job. They used to tell me I was building a dream, with peace and glory ahead. Why am I standing in line, just waiting for bread? Once I built a railroad, I made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower up to the sun, brick and rivet and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in your khaki suits, ah, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodly-dum. 500,000 boots went slugging through hell, and I was the kid with the drum. Oh, say, don't you remember? They called me Al. It was Al all the time. Why don't you remember? I'm your pal, buddy. Can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, ah, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodly-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell, and I was the kid with the drum. Oh, say, don't you remember? They called me Al. It was Al all the time. Why don't you remember? I'm your pal, buddy. Can you spare a dime?
Well, it was told that that Forrest Gump died, and I think he went to heaven, from what I understand. As a matter of fact, I have that on good word. And I heard that maybe the spirit of Forrest Gump is around here. Is that true?
It is. He's still here.
Now, Forrest, I understand that St. Peter had 3 questions for you to qualify to get into heaven.
That's right. He did.
Well, now the first question, from what I understand, was how many days of the week start with T?
Let me think on that one just a minute. It'd be 2.
2?
Yeah, today and tomorrow.
Now, I'm not quite sure that was what he was looking for, but it does qualify, so we'll go for that. Now, for the second question, I believe it was, how many seconds are there in a year?
Now, that one's a lot tougher than the other one was. Let me think. Yeah, the answer to that one is 12.
12?
Yeah. January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd, April 2nd.
Okay. Yeah, well, that wasn't quite what he told me either, but I bet that has to work, so we'll go with that one too. Now, the last question I understand was, what is God's first name?
That was the easiest one of them all.
It is,
Yes,
okay.
it was. First name be Andy.
Andy?
Yep.
How did you come up with Andy?
Cause and he walks with me and he talks with me.
I believe I'll just sit down after that one. You know, when times get tough, we always blame our politicians. And we happen to have a couple with us tonight. We have my inmate, Ron Parker. We have our soloist, Ron Smith. And Dick Dodge. You know something else? When times are tough, we kind of can get down, a little bit depressed. We can think about how it's all going to end. You know, what does it mean for us when it's all done? I've decided that when I die, I want to have Ron Smith to one side of me. I want to have Dick Dodge to the other, probably on the right. Because when I die, I want to die like Jesus, between two thieves.
Now, the Depression was tough, and a lot of people bought stock, and they went busted. Now, Jim Wyatt, where you at, Jim? You're out there somewhere. He bought a bunch of stock in revolving doors and toilet paper, and before he got turned around, he was wiped out. After listening to these guys' jokes, I decided to tell you two true stories tonight, and this is a true story. This is a true story. It appeared on the front page of the Steuben Republican on July the 25th, 1934.
Can't use it.
It says, heat wave sets record. The temperature in Steuben County struck a new all-time high at 105 degrees Tuesday afternoon at 3 p.m., according to official weather reporter John Parcel. Other unofficial thermometers registered even higher, some reporting as high as 110 and 112. It was contended by some who have been feeling the effects of the heat that the official thermometer was secured under the Hoover administration and was therefore somewhat more conservative. It was in the paper.
I think I could buy some more beer.
Life is just a bowl of cherries. It's mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so much you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. It's the bear.
Can't see you.
When I was a kid, we went to church every Sunday morning. You put on your Sunday best. They don't do that now. Anyway, we went to church on Sunday morning, and one Sunday morning the preacher really got into it. He really was letting them have it. Hellfire and brimstone. About that time, the devil come through the front door. People jumped out the window, the preacher went out the back. Old farmer in the front row just sat there. Devil looked at him, he said, "Why aren't you afraid of me?" "Why," he said, "I've lived with your sister for 40 years.
You got that, Kevin? He didn't really mean it. Adam was wandering around in the Garden of Eden and looking a little bit down. So God went to him and says, "Well, Adam, what's wrong?" Adam says, I'm a little down, kind of lonely. So God says, "Well, I shall fix that for you. I will make you a creature, a companion. I shall call her woman. And this creature will gather your food, will cook your food, and when it is through, she shall clean it up. She shall bear your children. When you realize what clothes are, she will wash them for you, fold them for you, lay them out for you. On your children, she will tend to them to where you will never get up in any evening. She will never argue with you, even if you are wrong." Adam says, "Well, that sounds too good to be true. What would a creature like that cost?" God said, "An arm and a leg." And Adam says, "Little pricey. How much can I get for a rib?"
There were three boys that were talking about their fathers and bragging it up a little bit. And the first boy says, "My father can write down a few words, call it a poem, and he gets $50 for it." The second boy says, "Well, that's not bad." He says, "But now my dad can write down a few words, call it a song, and he gets $100 for it." The third one goes, "Well, that's not bad either, but says my father can write down a few words, call it a sermon, and it takes 8 people to collect all the money."
Another true Pleasant Lake story. July 1931, Steuben Republican. Rice Bush, 39, farmer, living east of Pleasant Lake, beat his wife and was arrested. Rice, who was a Kentuckian, professed to believe that a man had a right to beat his wife when, in his judgment, the occasion required it. I'm not commenting on that one.
Next time you want to get up, just stay sitting. Yes, the Great Depression. Unemployment, soup lines, misery, FDR. Ron Parker was born. But not all was bad. January the 8th of 1935, in Tupelo, Mississippi, Elvis Aaron Presley was born. And do you know what he would be doing today if he was alive? He'd be kicking at the lid. I'm just kidding. He wouldn't really. He'd be here to sing for us tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, the King.
Thank you for that warm applause, but you haven't heard us sing yet.
You're not going to hit me in the belly tonight, are you?
Maybe. Maybe. When I heard that it was the 30s and the Great Depression, I thought maybe we could retire Elvis. But then, as Kevin said, and Elton said, "Oh, no, no, no. Elvis was born in 1935. He was a product of the Great Depression." Also, I kind of wanted to sing Smile, which was Michael Jackson's favorite song, written by Charlie Chaplin, believe it or not, in 1934. Michael, at one time, being Elvis's son-in-law. But we're here to do this again. I have the Lionaires once again with me, and we're going to do a couple of our favorite songs. Let's try this one. Let's try this one and sing. Well, you know I can be found sitting home all alone. If you can't come around, please telephone. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Baby, if I made you mad for something I might have said, please forget the past. The future is bright ahead. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. I don't stop thinking of me. I don't make me feel this way. Come on over here and love me. You know what I want you to say. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Why should we be apart? I really love you, baby. Cross my heart. Let's walk up to the preacher and let us say I do. Then you'll know you have me, and I know I'll have you. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. Don't be cruel to a heart that's true. I don't want no other love. Baby, it's just you I'm thinking of. Ooh.
Beer on the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 97 bottles of beer on the wall.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. Shall I stay? Would it be a sin if I can't help falling in love with you? Like a river flows through the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you. Like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things were meant to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you, for I can't help falling in love with you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Elvis. Yeah, he's great. He'll be back next year, too. Yes, it was mentioned earlier that people sought to escape the reality of life in the 30s by going to the movies a lot. And they made some great movies back then. A couple of them already mentioned, Gone with the Wind and The Wizard of Oz. But a lot of you remember, I think, if you think about it, that one of the biggest movie stars of the 1930s was actually a 7-year-old girl. Wait a minute, hold it. Start that again. That's the way we practiced it. Wait a minute. Now you're wondering if we practiced that. We practiced that a lot. And every time it sounded just like that.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach of Peppermint Bay. Lemonade stands everywhere, Cracker Jack stands fill the air, and there you are, happy landing on the chocolate bar. See the sugar bowl with a Tootsie Roll in a big fat yellow suitcase. If you eat too much, oh, you'll awake with a tummy ache on the good ship. Lollipop, it's a nice trip. Into bed you'll hop and dream away on the good ship. Lollipop, on the good ship. Lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach of Peppermint Bay. Lemonade stands everywhere, Cracker Jack stands fill the air, and there you are, happy landing on the chocolate bar. See the sugar bowl with a Tootsie Roll with a big fat yellow suitcase. If you eat too much, oh, you'll awake with a tummy ache on the good ship. Lollipop, it's a nice trip. Into bed you'll hop and dream away on the good ship. Lollipop.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop where bonbons play on the sunny beach of Peppermint Bay. Lemonade stands everywhere, Cracker Jack stands fill the air, and there you are, happy landing on a chocolate bar. See the sugar bowl, do the Tootsie Roll with the big fat yellow suitcase. If you eat too much, oh, you'll awake with a tummy ache on the good ship. Lollipop, it's a nice trip. Into bed you hop and dream away on the good ship. Lollipop. On the
Extra, read all about it. Who was Lorene Tuttle? Where was the Pleasant Lake Times office located at? Who was all on the 1937 Pleasant Lake basketball team? Why was the Steuben County Sheriff in the Hooskow? What's on sale at Ransburg Brothers? You can find the answer to all those questions in your copy of the Pleasant Lake Times. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've resurrected the Pleasant Lake Times. We have got several articles in here about Pleasant Lake in the 30s. And it's only $1. Just $1. During our halftime, we're going to have our newsboys circulating through the crowd and peddling these papers. And please, ladies and gentlemen, don't let our poor newsboys go home with any unsold papers. There's something else, too. You're going to find something very interesting in the centerfold. We got a centerfold in the Times. You have to find the paper to see it. No, really, I'll clue you in. There's more fruit in here than you think. We got an ad for our Pleasant Lake Lions Club citrus sale. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we are kicking off our annual citrus sale tonight. You can buy your oranges and your grapefruit from any one of our Lions Club members. And really, this is some of the freshest fruit you can get. Now this is no fruit about it, okay? We place our orders on Monday. The Grove will pick the fruit, sort it, box it, and we'll have it for you that Thursday. Now that's just like having a tree in your own backyard. Isn't that great, huh? And it's only 12 bucks a box. Same price as last year. How many places can say that? You can buy that from any one of your Lions Club members. And also, you people that's watching us on television, you can get your Pleasant Lake Times and order your fruit from any one of the Pleasant Lake Lions Club members. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our show is going to be on TV. Huh? Isn't that great? Trent Lewis and his crew from the cable company is taping our show, and it's going to be on the 101's Lakes channel, which is channel 20. Huh? Isn't that great? You can order your, we're also making DVDs of tonight's program, and if you want to relive all this wonderful time, you can order your DVDs at the table over here, okay? Also, during our intermission, we're going to be selling our world-famous lollipops. We've got apples, we've got popcorn, we've got soft drinks, so get all fueled up and get ready for our second half. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, the second half of our program, Brother, Can You Spare a Dime?
Hello, we represent the big three automakers. Hey, wait a minute, where's General Motors?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. My car broke down.
You should have taken my jet.
Oh.
Anyway, we're here to get you, the American voters, to pay for our bailout. Now, we know it sounds kind of expensive, and you may even suffer from a little sticker shock. But come on into my office and sit down, and I'm going to work this out on my calculator, and I'm sure you're going to be pleasantly surprised with the figure that I come up with.
What's that? Still too high? Well, let me get back with the manager and see what we can do. But I got to warn you, we're not making any money on the deal.
Now you people are killing us here. What's it going to take to put you in this bailout? How about I throw in free undercoating and extended warranty, which you're going to need because this whole thing is going to break down. But wait a minute, don't walk away. Take it for a drive.
Hey, wait a minute. They're all leaving. You know what that means.
Well, if we cannot find any suckers who will bail us out, the future of the U.S. automakers will be in doubt.
Our cars are all dinosaurs, and the Japanese have so much more. You gotta help us on to help us get up off of the floor. Bow, 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 bow. Help me Honda, help me Honda. Hey Isuzu, we're gonna schmooze you.
Help me Mazda, help me Mazda.
Mitsubishi, please buy a piece of me.
Hey Toyota, help us Toyota.
Subaru, our cars suck without you. Help us Honda's back, like helping Joe. Taxpayers, just think of the possibilities. Well, if we get help from the Japanese, we can merge our models with theirs.
That's right, we can take the Ford Edge and merge it with the Toyota Tercel, and we would get the Ford Edge Cell.
Or we can take the Mazda MPV, combine it with the Mercury Comet, and create the Vomit.
Hey, in order to save the industry, we can merge the Nissan Titan with the Cadillac to create the Titanic.
No. Those are all great ideas, but we'd have to stop capitulating with the union, and I'm telling you, our pay would reflect that of the Japanese executives.
Oh,
No.
that's just crazy talk. Let's stick with the original plan.
Bow, 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 bow. Help us, Congress, help us, Congress. Help us, Congress, help us, Congress.
First payment of $200 billion due by 1/9/10, terms of 1.97%. Resume finance for the first 4 months, just for the next 10 months. Do it signing.
Help us, Congress, please, like you helped AIG.
Did I hear somebody say we was going to be on TV? Woo! Well, if I'd have known that, I'd have traded this little critter in for some Slim Fast. You don't think that's funny, huh? Come on back here. Let's see if we can find your wife.
It'll be okay, Elton, don't worry. Well, I had a story I was going to tell you, but as you've already learned, yeah, thank you, can't use it. So at the last minute, I had to come up with something different. Let's see how this goes. There was a priest, a preacher, and a rabbi that were challenging each other on their skills to convert people to Christ. So they said, well, let's all go out into the wilderness, find a bear, and see if we can convert him. Priest went out, comes back to report that he had found a bear, had preached the catechism to him, sprinkled him with holy water, and he said tomorrow is his first communion. Very good. Preacher said he'd gone out to the wilderness, found a bear, preached hellfire and brimstone to him by a babbling brook, and the bear was so mesmerized, he allowed him to baptize him right on the spot. The two looked down at the rabbi, laying in a body cast in a stretcher, and the rabbi says, "Hey, maybe I shouldn't have led with the circumcision."
Ooh, I don't know. That's tough to follow. Hey, Elton, you know the difference between the bird flu and the swine flu?
What would be the difference between the bird flu and the swine flu?
Well, the difference between the bird flu and the swine flu is with bird flu, you get tweetment, and with swine flu, you get ointment.
Moment of silence for that joke, please.
My newspaper stories don't sound so bad after all, do they? Yeah, July 1932, a group of young girls in the town, Pleasant Lake, decided to form a club. The members were Mary Ellen Cankamp, Wilma Parks, Wilma Myers, Dorothy Tritch, Mary Ann Hoyer, Evelyn Wysong, Vivian Updike, Leona Locke, Glendora Chamberlain. They called their little group Just Us Girls. Jugs for short. I'm not commenting on that one either.
Back when I was a kid, we always got that dubious job of cleaning out the hen house. And you know how that chicky poo-poo smells and how it gets in your eyes. And anyway, Kenny and I got busy and cleaned the hen house out. He took the load of poo-poo out to the field. Now, you have to understand my brother. He always put his initials on everything. KP here, KP there, KP here, KP there. That time he went out and spread that manure and he put a KP in Dad's wheat field. We seen it all summer. Now, Mother went to the hen house and found out her prize hen had laid a quarter. And she didn't quite understand that. The next day she goes out and the whole hen had raised a nickel. And she said, I can't figure this thing out. Next day she went out there with a dime. So she decided to take the old hen down to the veterinarian. He walked in and the old hen and said, told him what was going on. And Veterinarian said, well, how old is she? Well, Mom says she's probably 5 years old. He said, I know the problem. She's going through a change.
I got no lock on the door, that's no way to be. They can steal the rug from the floor, that's okay with me, 'cause the things that I prize, like the stars in the skies, are all free. Oh, I got plenty of nothing, nothing's plenty for me. I got my gal, got my son, I got all day long. I ain't a frettin' about hell till the time of life. Never one to, long as I'm well. Never one to strive to be good, to be bad. What the hell, I am glad I'm alone. Oh, I got plenty of nothing. Nothing's plenty for me. I got my gal, got my son, got all day long.
It was in the paper.
I think I could buy some more beer.
You know, during the Depression, times were tough. In fact, some people didn't even know where their next meal was coming from. But sometimes you just got lucky. Oh, how's that start?
Oh, my children.
Oh, we're going to start that again.
Don't get in a hurry either.
Okay. Slow down, do it right. Hi, all you folks at home. Oh, my children are hungry and my dog needs a bone. I ain't got a job now, I'm just a traveling home. It's an hour after sundown and much to my delight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlight tonight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be all right. Oh, we'll make some possum gravy. Oh, what a wonderful sight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlight tonight. We won't have to clean no chickens. We won't have to open no cans. Just a little closer and I'll have him in my hands. Well, I think the time has come to put my headlights on bright. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlight tonight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be all right. Oh, we'll make some possum gravy. Oh, what a wonderful sight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlight tonight. Oh, my children are hungry and my dog needs a bone. I ain't got a job now, I'm just traveling home. It's an hour after sundown, and much to my delight, oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlight tonight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. If I can run him over, everything will be all right. Oh, we'll make some possum gravy. Oh, what a wonderful sight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlights tonight. Oh, there's 5 pounds of possum in my headlight tonight.
Feller just can't get no privacy.
Sunny side of the street.
I love it when a plan comes together.
We all have the book, Elton. Y'all having fun tonight? Well, I guess that answer will be different by the end of the show. You know, the Depression's kind of a, well, depressing time, and we hope we haven't brought you down too much, because every road has 2 sides of it. We want you to travel the sunny side of the street.
Well, I know, Chip, we usually say something when we come up here. What do you want to say?
There was a football game last night. We won.
All right.
There's one tonight. We're losing.
Oh, we ain't got a barrel of money. Maybe we're ragged and funny, but we'll travel along, singing a song side by side. Don't know what's coming tomorrow. Maybe it's trouble and sorrow, but we'll travel the road. the sky should fall. Just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. When they've all had their sorrows and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just to travel along, singing a song side by side. Through all kinds of weather, what if the sky should fall? Just as long as we're together, it doesn't matter at all. When they've all had their quarrels and parted, we'll be the same as we started, just to travel along, singing a song side by side.
Where's little Ronnie? We can't do this song without little Ronnie.
Not with that RP3.
There's a little deposit left in here. I'm trying to take care of it.
Get out of here.
Beer and lollipops do not mix.
Boomer, call your broker to check on a rumor that could cause you to lose your good humor. When you see your new statement, you'll see which funds have paid off savings. Your investments are now misbehaving. Your retirement profits are caving because all of your hedge funds were run by Bernie Madoff.
You need some help with your 401k. Your last accountant has just joined AA. Now you will have to scrimp. Could your funds be more limp if they were all run by a chimp? Your pension should be fat cause your broker once mentioned a potential new Apple invention. You'd be rich, but you thought, who wants something called an iPod?
You'll need some help with your 401k. Your plan to quit work is now DOA. No, you weren't very smart. Soon a new job will start. Hello, and welcome to Walmart. You'll have to live at the YMCA.
Now it's back to work on that bathroom.
Well, it seems like a lot of years ago, but in my young, formidable years, or a little past that, I spent a bunch of time in the Army. And we used to spend a lot of time in the field. And on one of those occasions when we were getting ready to hit the sack, I got to hold of my commander and I said, "Sir," I said, "look up at the sky and tell me what you see." And he took a step back and he looked up and he says, "I see millions of stars." And I said, "Yes, sir, and what does that tell you?" And he says, "Well," he says that astronomically, it tells me that there is millions of galaxies out there with the potential for billions of planets. And he says theologically, it tells me that God is great and that we are small and insignificant. And he says astronomically now, it tells me that tomorrow is going to be a beautiful day. And he says, "Well, how about you, Sarge? What do you see?" And I said, "Well, sir, I see that somebody stole our tent."
Elton,
Yo,
do you know why they put a bell on a cow?
Ron, why do they put a bell on a cow?
Her horn won't work.
Put the drumsticks down. Abe Thalls is a really smart guy.
Yeah, that's how smart is it?
It's my story. One day he was trying to teach Elton about logic, of which Elton has none. So Abe says, I can ask you one question and I can tell you a lot of things about you. So Abe says, Elton, do you have a weed eater? And Elton says, well, yes, I do. Abe says, well, from that, I can logically conclude that you have a yard. And if you have a yard, I could logically conclude that you have a house. And if you have a house, I could logically conclude that you have a family. And Elton is amazed. He says, I just can't believe I have all of those things. And Abe says, well, but I'm not done yet. If you have a family, I could logically conclude that you have a wife. And if you have a wife, I could logically conclude that you are heterosexual. And Elton says, you got me down to a T. It's perfect. So Elton was so excited he wanted to go out and tell his friends about logic that he had just learned. So he went to Ron Parker and said, I can ask you one question, and I can tell you a lot about you that you maybe didn't even know. He says, Ron, do you own a weed eater? Ron says, well, no, I don't. And Elton says, you must be gay.
Okay, one more true story about Pleasant Lake, and this one is about me. Now, how many of you remember or at least have heard of Dr. George Nelson Lake? Any of you guys ever heard of Doc Lake? You ever heard of Doc Lake? Man, you people are old. But Doc Lake brought me into the world, as he did many of you, I'm sure, and I was born right here in Pleasant Lake, believe it or not. The house right across the street where Bob and Janet Ayers live today. There's a small shrine there, nothing fancy, just some candles. My mother had already had 8 children, and at the age of 42 had twins, of which I am one. Well, she didn't go to the doctor when she was pregnant, and Doc Lake came in and did the delivery, and he said, hey, you're going to have twins. And after the delivery, my father asked Doc Lake, how much do I owe you? And Doc Lake said, well, it's usually $15 for delivery, but I'll give you the 2 for $25. And what a bargain they got, huh? Now, you know that the Depression was tough. People were optimistic and cheerful, just like we are today with tough times we have. And we know that we're Americans and we're optimistic, and we know that better times are coming.
Are we ready? We're ready. Oh, pick away on the old banjo and keep that guitar strumming. Put more water in the soup, there's better times a-coming.
The cows went dry and the hens won't lay. There's no place I can borrow. Give the landlord all the news, the rent is due tomorrow. Lots of money in the bank, I know that's where they keep it. They won't even let me look at some, they won't even let me see it.
So, pick away on the old banjo and keep that guitar strumming. Put more water in the soup, there's better times a-coming.
Well, Mary Lou could pull a plow if only I would let her. Twice as strong as any ox, and she don't smell much better. I didn't kiss Mary Lou but once, and then I had to leave her. Makes my collar get so tight I start to burn with fever.
So pick away on the old banjo and keep that guitar strumming. Put more water in the soup, there's better times a-coming.
Well, a man came by the other day, hunting manual labor. I told him I hadn't seen the guy. Why don't he ask the neighbor? So come on, boys, and get your gals and keep your guitar.
Kick your heels up higher.
Yeah, do that. Kick your heels up higher. Don't let no one steal your gal. Just hold her a little tighter.
So pick away on the old banjo and keep that guitar strumming. Put more water in the soup, there's better times a-coming.
My rooster used to chase a hen, he just kept getting thinner. He almost run himself to death, so I brought him in for dinner. Cotton crop is mighty poor, the weeds are really growing. I need a woman real bad to help me with the hoeing.
Oh, pick away on the old banjo and keep that guitar strumming. Put more water in the soup, there's better times a-coming. So put more water in the soup, there's better times a-coming.
We want to thank Trent and his cable TV crew for coming this evening. We want to thank Mark and the Trine University Jazz Band for their performance tonight. And we thank you for all coming here this evening. And through the 30s, you found out that the United States and the people that are in it are pretty resilient. And the same thing's going to happen right now. So we want you to know that no matter what happens, this land is your land.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple by the relief office, I saw my people as I stood there hungry. I stood there wondering, is this land made for you and me? As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me an endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. And the sun kept shining, and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling. As the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting, saying, this land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
This land was made for you and me.
This land was made for you and me.
This land was made for you and me.
This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me. Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking my freedom highway. Nobody living can make me turn back. God bless America for me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps through the sparkling sands of her diamond desert. words, and all around me a voice was shouting. Sing it with us. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island. From the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters.
This land was made for you and me.
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 God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with gold. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Join us in singing.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountain to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Hit it again.
Home again in Indiana, and it seems that I can see the gleaming candlelight still shining bright through the sycamores for me. The new moon sends all its fragrance from the fields I used to roam. When I dream about the moonlight on the walnut, then I long for my Indiana home. Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. You may think that this is the end, and it is. Aflac.
Grab your coat and get your hat. Leave your worries on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Can't you hear that pitter-pat? Why, that happy tune is your tune. Life can be so so sweet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. But now I'm not afraid. Trouble's over, I've crossed over. If I never have a cent, I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side of the street. I used to walk in the shade with my blues on parade. But now I'm not afraid. Trouble's over, I've crossed over the rainbow. Never have a cent. I'll be rich as Rockefeller. Gold dust at my feet on the sunny side